Hi guys, welcome back to the ZEZE MILLZ show. Obviously, I'm ZEZE, and today we have a very special guest. I say all my guests are very special, but this one, I'm really excited about this one. I'm really excited because I feel like we're gonna have like a really nice, like, girly chat, but obviously to talk about something serious. So today we have Demi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster the past week. But do you know what? I'm strangely feeling optimistic, and all my friends are like, why the hell are you so positive? And I'm like, I don't even know. I shouldn't be positive. I think a lot of girls or people in my situation would be the opposite, but
the first time I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's gonna be okay. And then, you know, you kind of, everyone just goes about their normal life unless you're involved with that person. And then I saw it again, like last week, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. And I was thinking, you're so young. But then when you said in your caption that it's actually the most popular, so
yeah, it's a really rare form of cancer. Like, I'm trying to understand all the scientific stuff of it because it's still overwhelming to me. And then when I actually went to the consultant and he was discussing it, it just went over my head. My head was like scrambled egg when he was telling me. But it's a really rare form of cancer, so it's called thyroid cancer. So basically, the bottom of your throat, you can probably see my little scar there.
Yeah.
It's like a butterfly-shaped gland, and it controls all your hormones, like your weight, your temperature, like just loads of stuff. It's like a control center of your body, basically. And so yes, that's where, and I had a massive lump on the right side of my neck, and I've had that since I noticed it back in 2019 when I was at university. And I was so busy doing all my exams, and I was out partying every weekend. Like, I wasn't focused on the lump. I was too busy like living my life.
Did the lump hurt?
No, didn't hurt. I had no symptoms. Right, okay. And everyone keeps asking me, like, what symptoms did you have? Like, where did you have like a sore throat or anything? But I had nothing apart from this lump. So I just overlooked it.
Was the lump visible to other people, or was it kind of like a you thing? You know, like when you looked in the mirror, you'd be like, oh, this looks a bit larger than this side. Or did other people notice?
They did and they didn't, so unless I pointed it out, you probably wouldn't notice it. But when I went on Love Island, which was part of the reason it was like a red flag to me, is when I came out, people have been messaging on my message request saying, oh, Demi, I've seen this lump on TV, I think you need to get it checked. And I thought, okay, hang on a minute, like, this isn't right. If other people are noticing it.
Yeah.
But it was actually like the size of a golf ball, he told me when he removed it. So, and it was a tumour.
Oh my God.
I know, and he said it's probably been there for years and years, and I just didn't know.
Talk me through from the beginning. So you went, because you said that you were supposed to go and get it checked out, but due to COVID and hospital appointments stopping and not being able to go, you wasn't able to see them. So how did you eventually get to see them? Did you just apply pressure, or how did it work?
Right, so it's quite a long story, but I hope part of this will raise awareness for it. But so I initially found it in 2019 when I was doing my degree, and then I finally got it looked at just before Love Island, and I had a scan and a blood test, which both came back fine. And he said, basically 1 in 3 women have a thyroid nodule, which is something that grows on your thyroid, but it's benign, nothing to worry about. Unless it starts causing you problems, we're not going to cut it out. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But unfortunately, my stepdad, literally about 2 months before Love Island, was diagnosed with stage 4 melanoma cancer, so he's terminal. But that was because he had a lump on his ear, which he found 2 years prior, and he kept going to the doctors, and they weren't referring him to the specialist. They're going, oh no, it's this, or we don't think it's anything to worry about. And he went 4 times over the space of 2 years. And then when my mum finally pushed him, was like, no, you need to insist to go to a cancer specialist. And he did. They found out he was covered in cancer, and it was too late. So that's when I knew that I need to push for appointments and stuff. But at this time, you trust your doctors.
Yeah.
So I went for this scan just before Love Island, and they were like, no, it's all good, nothing to worry about. So I went on Love Island. My head was too busy, overwhelmed with Love Island to not even think about it. Anyway, come off. That's when people were messaging me about it. And then I had an appointment in September last year. But then because of the pandemic, they rebooked it and cancelled it 6 times. And then I wasn't seen until this April just gone.
And then when you saw them in April, were they like, shit, we need to act immediately, or was it like, no, it's fine?
It was brushed off again. So it wasn't for me. So again, I went for another ultrasound and another blood test. Both came back fine. Whilst I'm having this ultrasound, he's going, no, it all looks good, nothing to worry about. But because my dad was in the back of my mind, I said, well, is there no more testing you can do? Because obviously, and I explained the situation. And they went, well, we could drain some of the fluid for you if you want. And I was like, well, obviously, like, why aren't you doing that anyway? Surely that would be part of the process. They're like, yeah, okay, we'll drain this fluid and we'll see what that comes back like. And then 2 weeks later, I had to go in for the consultation. sat down, didn't beat around the bush at all. We said, we think you could have cancer, we need to get this removed as soon as possible. But if that wasn't for me asking for them to do more testing, they wouldn't have done it.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's just laziness, or they're overworked, or they just actually don't know what they're doing?
I think there's two things. I think, first of all, where I'm so young, I think they overlook young people, where I'm not like vulnerable as such. So I think I was overlooked in that terms, and where I'm like fit and healthy. And I think secondly, because they're just under so much pressure, I think they just literally, they see you just as like a number, don't they? You come in, you have like, even just for a random doctor's appointment, it's so hard to get it. And you're in and out in 2 minutes, and they just give you some antibiotics. So I think they're just so rushed and under so much pressure, they just overlook things. They don't take as many steps or precautions as they should.
So when they told you that they thought it might be cancer, then what was the next stage after that?
So within 2 weeks, I had to go back for my surgery. So that's why I've got this scar here.
Is the scar, is that permanent now?
Yeah. So obviously it's only like about 3 weeks old, so it's still quite raw. It's quite sore to touch, and I'm like faint tanning around it at the moment. So yeah, I had that, and then they just basically said, we need to cut this side of your thyroid out to see what it is. We can't know it's cancer until we've cut it out. Then I had to wait for 2 weeks for my results, and I was manifesting like, please don't be cancer. Like, I don't want to go through this, please. And then had to go back literally on last Thursday to get the results. And I walked in the room, and as soon as I walked in, the Macmillan nurse was there, and she's never in the room. And I thought, nah, that's it. I just knew, before you even said anything, I knew I had cancer. And I was like, I didn't even know what to do. I didn't even know what to think, but I just knew I had it. And I sat down, and he just said, yeah, I'm so sorry, but you've got thyroid cancer. We need to cut the other side out now and go through the treatment of getting rid of it.
Oh my gosh.
It's so scary out of all of it.
But that's, I guess what your friends are saying, you're just so bubbly. Like, you're just, is that just your way of kind of coping with it, or do you genuinely, because I think personally, I'm quite a pessimistic person, so no, I would be like, that's it, mate.
I'm on my deathbed.
Like, literally, I would be like, okay, yeah. But you just seem so positive, and like, as if you know you're going to be okay. Is that just your way of coping, or you kind of, and especially knowing with your dad, how's that affected you? Because that, you've obviously experienced it now, as you're seeing the side that no one wants to see. So how's that for you?
Oh, it's so hard, because I am such a bubbly, optimistic person, but I have such a heavy weight on my shoulders, and I don't think people understand that, and especially with social media, with like trolling and stuff. They don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and until now, I've not even opened up about my dad. And I didn't even really tell ITV, Love Island, about my dad either, because I was so scared they weren't going to accept me on the show. Because I thought, if they know I'm going through all this, maybe they think I'm not ready to go on it. So I was dealing through all that through Love Island as well. But I think, yeah, for me, being optimistic and bubbly is my coping mechanism. And I think as well, like, it just lets me hide it, and I just can go on about my day, be bubbly, like go out with my friends, do nice things. Otherwise, if I was just sat at home, I think I'd make myself ill if I was just constantly thinking about it. I'm just lucky that I am optimistic and I am that way inclined.
As I say, in your post said that young women, this is one of the most popular forms of cancer that we can get. But I didn't know about this. No. I didn't, like I was saying to you before we started filming, like my gran, she passed away from cancer, but she was like 90. Yeah. And I think that's how you associate cancer. It's like, the older you get now, it's possibly something that you might get, unfortunately, and but never with like young people. But I feel like we're experiencing it a little bit more now, because remember what's the Sarah from Girls Aloud?
Oh yeah, of course.
She's also,
and it's the one from The Wanted as well. Is this Tom?
Yeah,
I think his name. I can't remember which one, but he's like battling a really horrible cancer and stuff.
And then before that, it was Jade as well. And I feel like that's and then there was that awareness around it. Is your mission kind of now to just bring a lot of awareness, especially because you've got such a young following as well?
Yeah, honestly, with Love Island, I've got such a young following, and so many young girls look up to me. But I've had so much support since I come out about this, and bless, I've had so many young girls messaging me like, oh Demi, I found this lump, or what are the symptoms? But I'm not a doctor. I'm trying my best to raise awareness for it, but it's hard. But I think with all of us in this generation, we expect to like die happily in our beds when we're like 80, 90, but the realisation of that isn't quite true. That's a really lucky thing to be able to live that long and whatever. So And I think we overlook things. We're too busy partying, going about our like work and busy life, uni. We're not checking ourselves because we just don't think it's going to happen, just like me. But I think if it wasn't for my dad having cancer, I think if they had just done the scan and said, yeah, it's fine, I would have accepted it. But I think because I didn't really have that trust in them, that I knew to question it and ask for more. But there is a law now, because my mum's obviously been doing all like research and stuff like that into it, that there is a law that you can insist to be referred to a specialist even if a doctor doesn't think you need to. Okay. So if you go and you find any lumps on yourselves or moles or things like that and they turn you away, or you can see it's like changing colour or growing, you can insist, be like, no, I want to go to a cancer specialist, and just never think you're wasting their time or wasting your own time, because I feel like health is so important and we just overlook it so much.
Yeah, and I think it's because, like you said, because we're young, we don't think anything. It's like, oh, I'm good, I'm healthy. Yeah. As I've got a little bit older, I started to be like, oh gosh, you know? Yeah. You start, as soon as you feel a bit of, I might feel like a pain in my chest, I'm like,
I see it like straight on Google, what's
like,
this? And I go on this.
I'm going to the doctors. But now it's so hard with COVID. They literally call you up and they say, oh, what's your symptoms? And you say, oh, I've got a little, and they're like, oh, okay, can you this, can you that? And you're like, yeah, okay, we're just good. Like you said, okay.
They don't want to know. That's how I feel. I feel like when I ring the doctors now, I feel like it's a fighting battle. And I always feel like doctors' receptionists are really rude. I don't know if you experienced that. Like, I'm scared to call the doctors. I'm getting my mum to still call the doctors for me. It's true. So I just feel like they're rude. But yeah, no, it is. It's hard. It's hard to get appointments and stuff at the moment. But I just hope out of all this, if I can just raise awareness for young people to check things and check that, because I didn't know thyroid cancer existed. I didn't even know what thyroid was.
Yeah.
So if I can raise awareness for that. So again, just for like checking lumps and things, if you just literally look at your trachea in the mirror and drink a glass of water and you can just see if anything moves with it, that's what I've been taught to check for now. But other than that, I wouldn't have even...
So because it affects so many, it affects your hormones and other things to do with your body, have you found like your mood has been different, or?
The only thing that I found so far is that I'm tired all the time. Yeah. And I don't know if that's because I'm just really overworked at the moment, but I do naturally feel more tired, like I just want to nap every day. And apparently that is a side effect. So obviously now I've got to have a full thyroidectomy, so the whole thing's going to be out. They said that obviously I'm going to have a hormone imbalance, I could put on weight, which I'm really scared about, just out of everything, just don't want to put on weight. Right. So your weight can fluctuate, so you can be really tired, you can get really dry skin and things like that. So, but you basically get put on these hormone tablets, which I now have to take every day for the rest of my life, which starts after this surgery. But they can up and lower the dosage just to try and balance it out. Yeah. But loads of women have been really lovely and reached out to me and said like they've had it 10 years ago and they're fine, but it just takes a long time to get this right and like figure out your own body. Yeah. And then I have to go for some other iodine treatment, which again, don't know what that is, but I'm just thankful I've just not got to go through chemotherapy. Yeah. But the doctor said it's a really treatable cancer, so that's really good. And he says, where I'm really young, I should be absolutely fine, like getting over this. But he just said it's going to be a journey. He was like, you're going to see a lot of me over the next year and things like that. And I was really worried about my scar, but I actually quite like it.
No, it looks kind of like a love bite.
I wish it was.
Like a love bite, like a permanent love bite.
Yeah. And the thing is, it will go down. It's quite small than I thought. But where I had this lump on my neck and it's been bugging me for the last 2 years, I actually prefer the scar. And I have this like bloody massive lump on my neck.
So you mentioned social media. Was you a little bit apprehensive about sharing this whole thing? And are you gonna share the whole journey, or do you think you're gonna just kind of take a step back?
Yeah. Well, when I was leading up to all this, I didn't really share anything, but then I sort of made a rookie error. When I very first found out it could be cancerous, I was in shock and I was crying, and I went on social media, and I shouldn't have done that because I hadn't even told my family yet. So then I was getting all my family calling me like, what, Demi, you've got cancer? And I was like, oh no, I haven't yet, but I don't know. But that was the issue I made.
Why do you think that, because most people will be like, that's a bit weird that your first thing was to go to social media instead of like letting your family know.
I don't even know why, I can't even tell you, because my head was like scrambled egg, and I was like, oh my God, guys, like, because I think a week before that, I put on my social media, oh, I'm going to get this lump checked out. So straight away I just went on there and I was just in shock. But then I put it up there, and about 5 minutes later I thought, oh no, I want to take it off, but I felt like I couldn't. Right, once it's out there, like, and I think it would look worse if I then deleted it. So then when I first found out last week that I actually had cancer, I didn't put it on straight away, and my mum was like, please don't post it on social media yet. And I was like, no, I'm not. But then I feel like I've got a duty to my followers, because as soon as I posted that initial story a few weeks ago, then everyone was messaging me every day, like, oh, you had your results back, So that's it. And the thing is, your followers become very attached to your lives in like a weird way. And they feel like they know you, which is lovely, but at the same time, it's quite invasive sometimes.
How's your mum though? Because it must be so hard for her.
Yeah.
Because she's obviously dealing with
both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's a tough cookie, but she's really emotional. Bless her.
I can imagine.
She really struggles with my dad, but now this has happened. I think she's more worried about me. I feel like my dad's more worried about me as well.
Yeah. It must be really hard for both of them.
Yeah. So bless her, she's had to like basically quit work, and she's looking after my dad, and then she's texting me every day, and she follows my life through my social media. I think, again, with our age group, we don't call our parents enough either. I'm too busy like this and that, and I'm getting calls from work every day and meetings. So when mum calls me, I'm like, oh, no, what do you want? But really, I think I should be a bit more sympathetic to her.
She's probably thinking, like, you're partying too much and you're supposed to not be well. Like, what's going on?
I know, slow down. But my mindset is, right, I've got 2 weeks time before I have my other surgery, and I'm bedbound for 2 weeks. So I'm like, right, I just want to make the most of it.
So you're literally like just living your best life.
Trying to live my best life in the meantime.
How's it been for you though? Like, after leaving Love Island and coming into the normal world, and because I keep saying, I can't believe you're only 22. That just blows my mind.
Everyone says that.
So you was 21 when you was in Love Island.
21. It was the weirdest thing, right? I can't even, when people ask me about it, it's so hard to put it into words, because unless you've been through it, there's just no way of describing it. Because your whole, as soon as you walk into that villa, that's it. Your life changes, and everyone changes towards you in some way, shape, or like even your family changes. Like, not in a bad way, but it's just life is not the same, and it just messes with your head a lot.
Yeah, that's it, because I was going to say that you're now just in the public eye all the time. Yeah. Like, you literally can't do anything. And
the thing is with Love Island is they're so scrutinised. Yeah. Like, there's some weird hatred towards Love Island. I don't know what it is. And
I think it's because people just think that, why are you going on there? Yeah. As in, like, the people that go in there, they just want to be famous. Yeah. Anyhow to get it, they're going to get it. I love Love Island though. I'm addicted to that shit.
It was my favourite show.
What?
So yeah, it was my favourite show. So when I got scouted, I was like, there's no way I'm missing out on this opportunity. Like, I'm going to go for it. So to me, I was like a fangirl. Like, I remember when I first got the phone call, I literally like hung up and I screamed. I was like, oh my God, it's Love Island. Like, what?
I literally, when that comes on, I saw a tweet today and it was like, I think the Euro Cup is coming. Yeah. And Love Island is coming this summer.
So it's going to be like that summer with like Molly May and Amber and everyone.
And everyone was on the timeline like, what's going on? I can't believe. That's the only time when everyone comes together on the timeline, and actually we're all together.
I can't, like, the memes just crease me up. Like,
just the best
and
it
makes it funnier when you actually know the people. Like, when we come out, that was a funny. I remember we were on the coach back to London, and we got our phones back and was all just on Twitter, just like dying laughing at these memes about ourselves and like sending them to each other. It was just so funny.
What's the first thing you looked at when you got your phone back?
Oh, just my phone is like, your phone doesn't work. Like, it turns on, it just like goes.
It's spazzing out.
Yeah, it spasms out. But I was just like looking for all I couldn't believe all my followers. I remember before I went on there, I said to my friend, like, how unreal would it be if I come out with like 10,000 followers? I was like, how good would that be? And she was going, yeah, but like, you only really get that if you get to the final. And I was like, yeah, I'll probably.
What, 10,000 followers?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. I was just like, but I remember before I went in there, I said to my friends, like, do you know what? Even if I'm in and out in 2 or 3 days, it'll be something funny to laugh about, and next weekend we can go down to the bar and like drink about it. And I thought like it would just be funny. I didn't actually think that I was going to get that far. But I think because of that mindset as well, I think I just really was appreciative of every moment in there. Yeah. So yeah, it was so much fun, but it's challenging.
Did you come out with real friends? Like, when you've announced about the cancer, did they reach out to you? Did people reach from Love Island? Or is it kind of as if when you leave, just like, you know, when you go to school, secondary school, and you're like, last day, we're going to talk to each other for the rest of our lives.
It's like year 6 leavers assembly, like.
Literally.
But do you know what? I have made friends for life, like the twins, Jess and Eve. Like, they're literally like my best friends. We do everything together now. Yeah, it's cool. Mad. Like, we literally do everything together, like sisters. Shauna, Paige, Finn, Molly, Callum, like everyone. And it's weird because like Love Island is like a weird ancestral family. Yeah, like, you come out and then like all the other ex-Love Islanders are in your DMs, and it's all a bit weird. Right. But it's nice because everyone's really supportive. Everyone's been so lovely reaching out to me, and we all support each other on Instagram in different ways, and all different ways we're working and stuff. Everyone's hyping each other up on the gram, which I think is really lovely. But a few Islanders haven't reached out to me, which I didn't expect. That I'm not going to name names.
Oh no, you can. If you
no,
want.
I'm going to feel like that. It's going to cause problems. But other than that, like Jess, Eve, Shauna's been amazingly supportive. So.
But why do you think they haven't reached out to you?
I don't know. It's weird because we were so close in the villa, so then coming out and then just like zero contact.
I'm trying to think now, like who's you close to in the villa?
Everyone's going to be like, oh, who's close in the villa?
I'm trying to think.
No, but I wish them all the best, but I just feel like, I don't know. It's just, I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if it's because they just want to completely separate from the whole Love Island hysteria. I don't know, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Because you came out with Luke M.
Yeah.
You came out with Luke M.
Yeah.
And then, wasn't you with, what's his name as well?
Oh, with Naz?
Yeah, you was. Yeah, and then you came out with Luke. And then he pissed off with what's her name?
Yeah, so basically I've been pied twice from Love Island. Love Island was just horrendous for my love life, basically.
But has that had a knock-on effect on your love life outside of it?
100%. I thought Love Island would make my love life better, but it's actually made it worse. Because when I first come out, and obviously me and Luke stopped talking, I then started talking to people like in my hometown, like old flames and stuff like that. Yeah. But they then couldn't really deal with this whole new life. So that made it worse. And then so recently I've started dating people like in the same industry or similar industries to me, but they're all just idiots. So it's like, I can't win.
So what are you going to do? Well, to be fair, you don't need to date anyone now. You just need to take care of yourself, have fun with your girls, go out.
I'm looking forward to summer to actually being able to meet people naturally. So like go out and meet people. I'm sick and tired of people just sliding in the DMs and like, I'm just not good with that. I'm like a meet up person. I can't just have dead chat.
Oh, neither. That's one of the things that you lot say in Love Island was like, do you want to have a chat? Should we go for a chat?
Yeah.
Do you want to have a chat?
Yeah,
now?
like, constantly. Like,
go for a chat.
Yeah.
What do you actually want to do? Like after you come through the other end, everything's going to be okay. What do you actually want to do? Because I mean, we're all still young, but I just actually can't believe that you're 22. Like, honestly, I've been told off because I'm like, oh my God, I'm 31, I'm going to be 32. And like all the ladies that are like 30, they'll come in my DMs and be like, Z, can you stop saying that?
You're making us feel old.
You're making us feel old. And I'm like, I know, it's so bad. But people that come on my show, they're always like not a lot younger than me, but they're like 20s in the early, I'm just like, I remember when I was turning 25 and I literally had a breakdown because I was like, I'm getting so old.
The thing is, I don't have that mindset. I feel like I'm so young. And when my friends are like rushing to get in relationships, I'm like, why? You're gonna have your whole life married to someone and like having kids and not going out. Like, this is when you want to go to Libs and bust down.
Yeah, it's true, it's true. Oh my God, Libertine, I hope you're there in ages.
Oh no, I love Libertine.
You're like, yeah, Libertine, love it. Oh gosh.
No, I'm definitely still in that sort of like party active mode, definitely. But
when you found out, was there any part of you, even though you're really positive, was there any part of you that was a bit like, oh shit, like, is this it?
Yeah, well, when he told me I was being really strong, I was like listening, like, yeah, okay. My mum was like, are you okay? And then the Macmillan nurse on that side, so it was a bit overwhelming. And you're in and out like literally within 3 or 4 minutes. So it's like they tell you this crazy amount of information, and then they just expect you to get on with it. And he was like, right, go into the other room with the Macmillan nurse and she will talk to you about everything and give you some support. And as soon as I sat down and the Macmillan nurse was like, oh, let me just go get your papers. She walked out the room. I just broke down to my mum. I was like, oh my God. Like, I just thought like, why me? And I think, obviously cancer is such a big thing. It's like what 1 in 2 or 1 in 3 people will experience it in their lifetime. But you always feel like you're somehow like a bit distant to it, and you feel like you never think it's going to really happen to you. So I just thought, why me? I've just had this amazing opportunity from Love Island. We've gone straight into a pandemic, which was hard enough to deal with, and now I'm just come out of it, looking forward to summer and like going to live my best life. And now I'm going to have to go through all of this. I just wish that my appointment in September happened because I would have gone through all this by now.
Do they apologise to you? Do they ever apologise? Do they say sorry, you know?
No, I mean, nothing. But out of everything, my mum is really upset with our doctors because of my dad. So she's trying to like go through the process of that to change that at the moment, just because that's...
Did they ever apologise for that?
No. Because like, no one can really be held responsible. It's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? But I just hope that when these things happen, it makes them think, so next time. But yeah, so I mean, out of all of this, what's been really nice is so many people have messaged me and said, oh, Demi, thank you for your stories. Today I booked an appointment because of you. Or today I found a lump because of you, Demi, so thank you. And like that makes me emotional. I just feel like, oh, out of everything I can sort of like maybe even save someone's life or bring some awareness. That's what I'm trying to do now.
So what did you said, if you drink something and you see something moving, then you should get it checked out, and then obviously just checking for lumps as well.
Yeah,
Any unusual lumps.
I mean, I've heard that other symptoms are like a hoarseness of the voice or sore throat, swelling of the neck, difficulty swallowing and stuff. But I had none of that. But yeah, apparently like you'll be able to see it quite predominantly if there is something there. But I just ignored it because I just thought.
Yeah, you just think like, why would that
exactly,
would never,
and I think that's what with smear tests as well. I think people always think, oh yeah, I'll chase that up later, or I'll do that at a later date, and then your life just gets the better of you, and you never book your appointment.
Well, they brought it down because I think the age used to be a lot older to do your first smear test, and then they brought it down to 25, I think, or something. And I think now even they're trying to get it. I don't correct, I could be wrong, but they could have changed it already. But I remember at one point I did see people were campaigning to bring that age lower as well, because again that was a common form of cancer among a lot of young women.
I wonder why they don't do it younger. Is it because they just don't have the resource, like the funding for it? Because why else would you not start it at like 21?
Do you know what it is? I think because it wasn't as common, and now it's becoming a lot more common, which is weird, because I'm thinking, what is it to do with our diet? Is it to do with the food that we're eating, or just the life that we're living?
I always think about technology. I always feel like, oh, is it phones? Is this like, what is it that's like increasing it? Unless we're just more on it now, and we are raising awareness and stuff like that. But it's just scary. I just hope people will check.
No, definitely. And what else have you got going? What else have you got going on? So any exciting projects coming up?
Oh, well, not real. The first thing to do at the moment is just get through this.
Yes, 100%.
And hopefully enjoy my summer. Like, I want to try and go away if I can. And so don't get me wrong, I love the influencing, and I do love all like YouTube and stuff like that. And it's been really hard trying to like grow to that, and coming out of the villa and just learning to do Instagram was really, really hard.
Right, okay.
Just learning
What do you mean? Did you not do Instagram before?
It's easy, literally. I had 1,000 followers and I was private on Insta. I was so low key. Don't even know how they found me. So coming out and then trying to do all these like Insta pics and trying to do up like Molly May, it's been like so hard. There's so much competition. So I love doing all that, and I love all the brand association that I've done already. But believe it or not, before Love Island, I was at university and I did a history and archaeology degree.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so and before Love Island, I always wanted to be on TV doing history. So what I'm going to try and do now is try and create like a long-term career out of this now. Okay, right. And where I feel like I've got the platform to do it, I want to do like a little history, like documentary or something like that.
Do you follow this guy called Brett?
No.
Brett Rockman.
Oh, Brett Rockman. Yeah, and he does the sciencey stuff.
Yeah, he just does like he's got like this huge house, and he just does these like weird science experiments in his big old house that he's got. But I just think it's so cool.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
what I mean.
We should do that. Just start YouTube, just doing like weird science experiments.
Yeah, like do like history, like little segments and stuff like that. I want to try and make it fun.
Why did I say science?
Yeah,
history. Yeah,
history. I feel like when you think of history as well, you think of like BBC Two, like old men presenting it. I'm trying to make it like young and just interesting. So hopefully over the next year I can do something like that and just get into TV, as I feel like my personality is more that than influencing.
Right, okay.
I love it, and I love all my beauty, and I love all the fashiony stuff, but I think my personality belongs on like TV. So over the next year, that's what I'm going to try and like sediment. But it's just been hard because of the pandemic. It's been hard to like get into that and have the meetings for it.
What about the love life?
Love life. Oh, it's been.
That means that was either like there's someone there that I really like, or it was like
no. I feel like I said I've been like dating people like in the industry recently, and I thought that would be better because I feel like they would understand like the whole side of it. But I just feel like everyone's just idiots.
Yeah,
at the moment.
it's very hard.
And in this generation, people just love cheating.
So when you was on Love Island, did you actually like the guys on there?
Well, it's difficult because you're given a bunch, and you've got to basically like choose someone that you're going to get on with the most, the best with, really.
Right.
And I chose Naz originally because I just loved his personality, and I just loved how funny he was, and we bounced off each other and things like that. Then I got Pides, and then I was sort of like a lack of options in there as well. Right. And then me and Luke, we naturally come together because we were just like both like sweet, lovely people. And you think you get on really well, but then when you're thrown back into reality, we realised we were completely different. Right. Like when we come back, I remember Jess and Eve were like, "Oh, we're going to Libs tonight. Like, do you want to come?" And I was like, "Yeah, we'll get all dressed up and go Libs." But he was like not interested in that. He just wanted to like go surf or whatever he does. So
maybe him and the other girls better.
Yeah, no, they're definitely better.
Yeah,
definitely better. And I do wish them well as well, because there was been like a whole thing last year, like saying like I was like drawing them out for it, which I wasn't. Right. But I do wish him well, but it was just the way it happened was a bit.
Because he didn't tell you before, like, met anyway.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like, so I mean men. But in the meantime, I'm just going to chill, have fun, and hopefully I'll meet someone. like nicely.
I think we all a bit like that. All of us are a bit. Do you know what? It's like, yeah, we're going to have fun and have summer, but in the back of our heads, I feel like...
You want someone to go home to.
Basically. Do you know what I mean? You want to have fun, and then you want to have the person that you can text and be like, I'm on my way now.
Yeah, like, come pick me up. Come pick me up from the club. That's like, you always want that one little bae.
Yeah, exactly. Like, where are you? I'm going to come to yours now. Like,
yeah. As much, that's what I mean. As much as I love going out with girls, getting dressed up and having fun, like, I do want to have those little dates, like little museum dates. Or
right, yeah.
And the nice side of it as well. But it's hard to find someone like that at the moment. And I think because where I am with my health and like what I'm going through, the last thing I need is a boy messing me about right now.
100%. Well, have you got any questions for me?
Oh, I don't think so. Have you ever experienced? Do you know anyone that's like had cancer, or have you experienced it yourself? Had any scares yourself?
My gran passed away, and that was the closest to me. So I grew up with my gran and my mum.
Oh, was that recently, or was it?
That was like coming up to about 3 years ago now, 2.5 years, and it was really quick as well.
Yeah.
So she was. My mum noticed that she'd like lost a lot of weight in her legs. Right. So she's like, oh, that doesn't look right. So she took her to...
What cancer was it, if you don't mind me asking?
It was, oh my God. It wasn't, I can't even remember. It was acute cancer or something,
yeah.
which is, I hope I've got it right, but they usually find it in newborn babies.
Oh my gosh.
It's not an elderly, it's not
thing.
It's not an elderly thing. So like in babies, toddlers. So my mum took her to the doctors, and then he was just like, oh, something doesn't look right. So he told her to go to the hospital that day. So my mum took her to A&E that day, and they was just like, oh yeah, we're going to keep her in for some x-rays and stuff, do her chest and whatever. And then like 2 days later, they said, she's got cancer, but because she was literally 89, she could have been 90 that week.
Wow.
And we had arranged like a surprise birthday party for her, so, like that Saturday as she got taken in to hospital. Within like 2 weeks, she was gone. Like
2 weeks?
Yeah, it was quick. It was a really quick turnaround.
That's a scary thing. Like, I think when you hear this, like literally the C word, you think, oh my God, like how long do I have left? And I think that's what I did with my dad. We went into like a grief mode, like a panic-stricken mode, because we said, oh, like he's terminal, he's stage 4. We thought, oh my God, we could have like a matter of weeks. But you don't know, you can have weeks, you can have years. It's scary, isn't it?
It is. I think the only comfort with my gran was that she was 90.
Yeah.
So we got
She lived a lovely life.
She lived a long life, and we got to celebrate her 90th birthday as like, it was weird because everything that we would probably say at her funeral, we got to say at her 90th birthday.
That's
so she
lovely.
heard everything what she had done for us, how much we loved her, how much, etc. And we didn't even know if we was going to be able to do the surprise because we didn't know if she was going to be well enough to leave the hospital, but they let her go for the evening, so that was nice. And then she came back to where she lived with me and my mum, and then she like passed away there. So she got to like stay. I know some other people that have had it, or they've been living with it for a really long time, and they've been, they're okay. But yeah, like I said, it's like you only associate it with older people.
It's scary, but I feel like I'm gonna be fine. It's really treatable. Right. But my only worry that's in the back of my mind is that I haven't had a full body CT scan yet. So what if it spreads? Because he said it could have been there for years and years.
Right.
But
when are they going to be able to do that?
I have no idea.
But shouldn't they do that like straight away?
I don't know. I don't even know why I've got to wait 2 weeks to have this surgery. But I don't know. It's just the NHS, isn't it? Unfortunately. So I don't know. But I'm just going to wait and see how it all goes. But I'm optimistic, and I know hopefully by the end of the year I should be over this. And then the worst thing I've got to worry about is just trying to get rid of this scar.
I know, but nothing that a little bit.
Yeah,
that's like
what I mean.
The least of your
and I think people who are in worse situations with me with cancer would love to be in my position. Right, yeah. So I'm really grateful that I've not got to go through all the chemo, and I'm in a lucky situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, okay, well, thank you for coming on. Thank you so much. Like, when I DM'd, I was like, I was literally on the phone to my friend.
I literally fangirled when I saw your message. I was like, oh my God, girl, see this message.
I was like, she's probably not going to reply. I was like, literally on the phone to my friend. I was like, oh my God, did you get? I was like, I'm going to ask Demi if she wants to come on the show. Let's see. And my friend was just like, I was like, she's probably not going to want to come on. And then when you messaged back, I was like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much for having me. And hopefully out of all this, someone will like check and look and raise awareness and share on the message. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on, and we wish you the best, and you're going to come out of it perfectly fine.
Absolutely fine, yeah, exactly. I'll be glowing next year, girls, don't worry.
I'm going to see you living your best life in summer. I'm going to be like,
yeah, that's it. Oh,
living your best life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Guys, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, and everybody make sure you just check yourself. It's important to check yourself. If you don't know how, I'm sure there's loads of, I'll try and find some websites. Don't hold me to me if I don't, but I'm going to try and find something so that redirects you to places that you can know how to check yourself and different websites, etc., etc. Thank you again for coming on, Demi. Thank you guys for watching. We're out. Bye.